they can't read it because but if they could read it, they wouldn't understand it anyway.
Yep.
So there's all this pressure around the world. So you've got to get into China. It's very creative, but you need Chinese people to do it for you because they're just so different. So that's a big trend. Like I say, social media changing trends, FIFA, the way football's being consumed has just changed so much.
So do brands need to adjust to that? Because basically, I mean, if the biggest thing you need is to have a strong team in FIFA, for example, does actually the sign Zenit mean anything? Like the brand itself?
Well, I think you need to adapt and you need to make a strong brand, yeah. And it's hard for people probably in higher levels of management to understand it because they just can't, you know. But then there's young people going, it's important.
Yeah.
So you have to listen. So I think crossing the generations is a really important thing because, you know, and crossing national boundaries and all that. And you need people who are part of that group to tell you.
Basically, the next question is the brand equity important in football, and does it help the club to become successful? So does the brand influence the success of the club, or is it vice versa? For example,
do you know what? That's a good question. I think now, probably more than ever, yes, it is important.
Okay.
Because in the past, all that matters was success on the pitch. That's all that mattered, yeah? Whereas now, like I said, I've said to you Roma. You look at Roma, their social media following is huge. Not because they're a successful club, not because they win Serie A, but because of the stuff they do on social media. They've got, as far as I know, I've spoken to them a few, they've got 4 British guys who work there full time. 4 guys, just on social media.
That's cool.
You know, not on the website, just social media. And they bang it out, you know. So it's very difficult to compete with them. And they are good. And they've built up a following just from their brand. Another one, that German club, St. Pauli.
Okay.
They've got this brand of being a left wing, extremely left wing. They wear brown kits. They have a skull and crossbones. They're pro-refugee. They love Che Guevara. And they've built this brand just around what they believe in, and they're crap on the pitch, the second division.
Yeah.
But I think if you sort out who do you support, like proper football fans, I'm not talking about fans in China or anything, but proper football fans who might follow German football, I'd say they're probably like the 4th or 5th most followed club because of this brand they've got.
Fair enough.
Yes, St. Pauli,
so it's
Roma. I'm sure like you said Hellas Verona. I'm sure there's a club, and there's an Italian club who are like that, who've got like left wing. Can't think who it is.
I don't remember. I mean,
one of these Italian clubs.
I don't remember who is left wing, but I remember just I've been in Italy quite a lot on the football pitches, like not as a part of a football club, but as a just supporter. And I spoke a lot to the people who just normal fans. And I went once to Napoli, and I've never in my life seen, first of all, such a shit stadium. Second, so many people there. And third, they told me that basically Juventus and Napoli, they're not allowed to come on each other's stadium. Because if they do, they're not going to survive.
They've got an extremely violent fan base.
Yeah, so I'm like, it's not hooligans, it's like more, it's like step over. But to be honest, I do agree with this, because basically I spoke yesterday to the marketeer of this club, and he was like, the position was so important because basically we targeted a specific group, and because their mentality was similar to the club. They stayed with the club no matter what. We won, we lost, doesn't matter at all. They stayed because they were like, I don't care about what you're doing, like if you're winning or not. I care about who you are, and you're just like me. So we're in one, kind of. Because the next question is, what's the branding idea of Zenit? And how did it come around? And which challenges were there?
The branding of Zenit. I mean, the club now, over the last sort of few years, we've pushed this one city, one Adingol or Daring Commander thing.
Yeah.
One city, one team. And we've tried to, our sort of brand, in my opinion, the brand manager might tell you completely different.
That's the most interesting thing, you don't know.
Yeah, the official sort of branding is we're St. Petersburg, we're a symbol of St. Petersburg. We're the most beautiful city in the world. We've got this amazing architecture. We're this, we're the cultural capital of Russia, and we're the club of the cultural capital. So we're a brand of the city. We're Sini Billy Galaboy, the club who won the cup in the blockade in 1944.
Yep. Just
as the Leningrad blockade is lifted, Zenit win the cup. The most heroic story in Russian football. 1 million people have died, and we fight and win the Russian Cup, first one after the war, and so that's the sort of brand, official brand. But outside of Russia, that doesn't play very well. So the brand I sort of push online is again engagement, cheeky. Sort of unique. I think we're quite unique in the engaging with people and trying to get, to and fro. Like you see the English clubs like Arsenal, Man United, they engage with no one. It's like they're too big to do it. And if you look at their social media, generally it's pretty crappy in England because they don't need to be any good. Just top of my head, who's good in English football? Who's got good social media work? No one really. The German clubs are much better.
Based on picture, I like Fulham, but just based on picture.
I can't come springs to mind,
Yeah.
But if you look what the Germans do, which is what I sort of, because their league isn't really watched, they've only got, people know Bayern and that's it. Yeah. They're really mega active on social media and they throw a lot of money at it. And that's working for them, and that's what we've got to try and emulate, I think. But as what the official brand of Zenit is, it is we're the representative of St. Petersburg. Although we've got the Gazprom stuff, and we mention Gazprom all the time, like Gazprom Training Centre, it's the Gazprom, in this winter we play in the Gazprom Cup, the kids go to the Gazprom Academy, it's all, I don't overly push us as the club of Gazprom. It is more with the club of St. Petersburg, and St. Petersburg is this amazing thing, so we're amazing as well. So I suppose that's it. Is it Adnogorod? Adin Commander? Yeah. So this, I suppose, is the answer.
Okay. So could you think of any particular strategy that was implemented in order to enhance the customer-based brand equity? Because basically we usually discuss that, and what I like to hear actually, that people are saying brand is customers. So is it like that for Zenit? Is it built there, or is it something different? And what are the strategies which were implemented to?
That's hard for me to say because I'm sort of the social media side. But I can just give you one example of the kit. We launched the kit. All our kits, they try to include elements of St. Petersburg. So the current kit has got these I suppose they're like shards of glass. They look like all over, and this Gazprom Tower has just been completed, and it sort of looks a bit like that. But it's meant to, I think there's some like real artistic thing about it. I can't remember what it is. Like, it's meant to represent the sort of angles and the city and the architecture of St. Petersburg. But a better one, I think it was 2015, the kit had like little waves in it.
Yeah, I remember.
Do you remember that one? That was meant to be the Neva.
Okay.
That's the Neva. Another one we had, I think 12, it was like which I think is the best kit, the sash. So it was like white, the away kit was white with a blue sash, and it was meant to be like a copy of Peter the Great's uniform. So, I forgot what the question was, but that's the way we incorporate the brand into the product.
Oh, okay. So what's the main purpose? Is the main purpose to make people emotionally feel with the club, or is it for people to come to the stadium just to watch the game? Who is winning? Like Zenit is winning, so we are. Or like, is it we're St. Petersburg? So if you're from St. Petersburg, you're coming. So it's linking, to the place. So what's the main idea beside it? Like,
I think on all three, because Russia's a bit different. So I think on all three of those, you're right, because we don't have the sort of financial pressure at Zenit to make the money. It is more about sort of reputation and about who we, like we love to say we're the most supported team in Russia. A lot of people dispute that. They say